Morning all, welcome to AJ Stores Photography. Today I'm going to revisit a photo that was taken back in 2012, as you can see. This is before I even had a DSLR or digital DSLR or SLR, whatever. Basically it was taken with a Fuji film FinePix AX55 0. Now it's a 16 megapixel camera. It's a JPEG image, but I thought I'm going to start to revisit some of my old photos and see what I can do with the editing skills that I have now back to what it was then. So let's get into it. Usual things, lens correction, done that. Now as a benchmark, personally I always hit auto and see what it brings up. Yeah, it's alright as a photo, I suppose, but let's have a play and let's see what we can do. I'm going to try and bring the front out and try and make this a little bit more yellow and try and do something about this sky here because it's a bit blown out. So how to do that? We'll address the sky first. So a couple of ways to do it. You can dehaze the full lot, which will bring the definition of the sky out, a little bit of clarity, which will always help, and bring the texture up. But it's still blown out over here. All this is dark, but we're not concentrating on the bottom yet. We'll just try and sort the sky out for now. So, blown out image. What do? Well, this side's not too bad, but over here, it's just blown out too much. So, up to adjustment brushes. You can use your wheel to make it go bigger or smaller. And all I'm going to do is just pin over the top of it. If you're unsure where you've been, if you go down to this box at the bottom here and click show, it basically shows you what you've been over. And then you can just go over it to your heart's content. If you're unsure or if you've done something like that, if you press the Alt key, it comes up to minus and you can just basically take that bit out. Again, Alt, and take that bit out. You know what I mean? Just tidy it up a little bit. Again, if you press the Alt key and use your wheel, it'll go up and down, so the size will change. So if you want to get into any nooks and crannies, you can. Just a bit more definition, that's all. I'm just going to do a little bit here. Now I've got the feather tool set to 100, which basically means around the circle, you can see a circle. I'll take it down here. You can see a circle and then a circle on the outside. Basically between the two circles it'll feather it out, so closer into the middle it'll be harsher, closer to the outside, and basically it'll feather it so it doesn't do as much that you think it would. So I'm just gonna, we're doing this quick so you're not sat there watching rubbish for nothing. Right, so tick that off so you can see what you're doing now. Start with the exposure because that's what we're trying to correct. So bring the exposure down. Now if you bring it down too far, you'll see it just looks a mess. So we're only looking at little corrections. So bring it down 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, I think that'll be enough. Bring the whites down a little bit as well. You're not trying to make it so it's different to the rest. All you're trying to do is bring this down because it's just a little bit blown out compared to the rest of your image. So I think that's about it. I'm going to put a little bit of dehaze on it and just drop the highlights as well, and there's the letterbox going. And I think that's about it for that. I'm quite happy with that now. So the sky's not too bad, it looks a lot better than it did, but all the bottoms now really dark. So you can bring your exposure up, but again this is going to blow this out. So if you bring that back down to what it was, if you do that and you take it up and you want to bring it down, you can't get it in the middle. If you just click on the exposure bit or the contrast or whatever it is, and basically it'll take it back down to the 0 point or the middle point. So again, I'm going to use the adjustment brushes for the bottom, and all I'm going to do is click on the adjustment brush, and we'll have the red so we can see what we're doing. And all I'm going to do is, because you've got the line across the top there of cloud, all I'm going to do is run it right across. And I can make it as big as I want to do the bottom bits. Just make sure you've covered everything, because otherwise it will stand out like a sore thumb. So once you've done that, take that off. Right, so let's bring the exposure up. That's not too bad. Bring your blacks up, which will bring the darkness up from here. Bring your shadows up again, that'll bring that out. You don't want it too much, but you can always drop the exposure back down if everything else starts to come too much. Dehaze it a tad, which will mean that I'll need to put the highlight up a tad. When you dehaze something, it usually makes it a little bit darker, so compensate that. If you put dehaze up by 3, I usually put highlights or whites up by 3 or wherever, just to bring it back, but it won't affect the dehaze that you've done. So, well, that's looking a lot better than it was, but I still want this to be a little bit more summery. So if you go to your temperature and just bring your temperature up a little bit, and you'll start to see the colours and everything start to come through a bit more. And as you can see, we're up to 25. It's now a lot yellower. That's still green, which is good. I'm going to put the saturation up a tad, which isn't too bad. Bear in mind, you are still just working on this bottom bit, so don't look at the sky, because the sky we haven't touched. Or we have touched, but you know what I mean, that was in the full photo. At the moment we're just looking at the land and what we're doing in there. So I think that's about alright. I'm not too sure about this jet plane. Now you see I've zoomed in, there's a little bit of noise there. Now I don't know why that is. Maybe because it's a JPEG. I mean, it was shot at ISO 100, so there shouldn't be any noise, but there again, it's an oldish camera. So a bit of noise reduction required. Into detail, and if you just use your noise reduction, bit of contrast, and that's your noise reduction gone, near enough. And there you go. So before and after. There you go, there's your before and after, guys. So as you can see, all photos still can be tweaked in Lightroom, even if they're just a JPEG. If you like the videos, guys, like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. And if you're interested in making a little bit of money, and I do mean a little bit of money, check out my other videos on clickersnap.com. You might find them interesting as a photographer. Until next time, see you later. Bye now.